Starting. Hey, so we are live.
Okay,
I don't know what is the number of this episode if it's ever out. We are recording it in August 13th. So this is Sarah. Sarah is my friend. She's in North Dakota, and I think we'll start with the story about how we met, which is a pretty interesting story. So, Sarah, do you want to kind of take it from here and tell a little bit about
sure.
LFG and stuff?
Sure. Well, we both kind of joined this group that like Lex Friedman started. He's a podcaster. He has the Lex Friedman podcast. We're both big fans of it. And he like started a Telegram channel and we just happened to join it. We both just happened to join it and like met each other on there and sort of chatted back and forth. And then like another chat group got started, like a side group with like a lot more like close friendships and stuff with like 20 people or something, and that's where we really got to like know each other and stuff.
Yeah,
It was fun.
so there is like Lex Friedman, he has like an official Telegram channel and a which used to be an official group chat. I don't think it's still an official one, or I know it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. But Sarah somehow became an admin of this chat. So she was like one of two people who were like having all the control and power there. Yeah, and I joined back in like July last year, um, and I wasn't really active. The guys have invited me into the second group, which is basically a group of people, as Sarah said, maybe 20 to 30 people, which somehow got really active and people started to get to know each other. I wasn't really active for like first maybe 4 months or so. So Sarah, maybe you want to talk about that, how the group started,
Yeah.
like how did it all happen?
Yeah, it was a cool experience getting to know people like online in a chat group because I hadn't really been in a big chat group like that before, like not in a long time at least. And I don't know, it was just kind of on a whim that I joined this one. And I remember it was cool because like Lex was active a little bit, like he would chat sometimes. And so that was cool. And then eventually people's personalities kind of come out in like a chat way, which is cool to see. And eventually you send voice messages and stuff and get to know each other. But since then, like we've had several people meet up in person from that group, that little small, that 20-person group. So I think that's really cool that that's happened.
Yeah,
And in the
so
beginning, yeah, it was like it was really personal, and then he like made it really private or really public, so a bunch of people joined. And I don't know how I somehow became an admin. So that was cool. That was a cool experience.
yeah, so it's like people from all around the world, like all the countries, like the US, Canada, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, South America, basically everywhere. And like people from a bunch of different time zones just chatting together, somehow becoming online kind of friends, and some of them even meeting in person, which is like very cool. I still don't know if that happened, but one of our friends from Australia traveled all the way to Germany to meet one of the other chat members. No proof there, but everyone says it happened. I don't know if anything was revealed after that. So, but it's really cool that this internet connection happening and it kind of grows to a more real life connection.
Yeah, it's really cool. There was those people that met in Germany, And then we had a couple people meet in New York, and people who like live in Toronto met each other, a couple people there. And I'm planning on visiting somebody, but it's a secret for
It's a,
now.
yeah, yeah.
In the
It's
same country. Yeah.
yeah. It
It's really
depends. Like
exciting.
if we really gonna publish this podcast before you are there, and if someone's gonna see it, people are gonna try to speculate where you're gonna go. But
It's
and
at
it's
least in the
it wouldn't be a secret anymore. I think it's pretty obvious in that small kind of chat.
yeah. I became really good friends with one woman in the chat. We're like best friends now, which is really cool. And we chat all the time, like personally, and we really like got to know each other really well, like best friends over the last year. And so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool because it's some kind of if you look at it, it looks really random because all like I think that people gathered there just because of Lex Friedman, and everyone obviously was a fan. They joined the same chat, but other than that, people were pretty much very different. But somehow, I think being attracted to Lex, a single like person podcaster, kind of brings people together in a way. So maybe that's why some of the people really like you and that other person become friends. I don't know if that would happen if you just put really random people together, but maybe having at least something in common helps.
I think so. What's really cool is just that, yeah, one thing that brought us all together, and plus just the nature of that podcast is like we all kind of value conversations with people and like real, like authentic connection. And I think we were all kind of looking for that too, while also wanting to engage with Lex, of course. But we were also looking for real friendships and connections. And because of that, I think the nature of the podcast, it made me more like open-minded to accept people that are completely different and just like regardless of what any of the differences are. And that was really cool just to find our common ground, common humanity. In this case, yeah, it was the podcast that brought us together, but yeah, I don't know if we need something in common, but it's a really cool like experiment of people getting together and like behaving towards each other for the most part online.
Yeah, yeah, and just to make it a little bit clear for people who don't know, so just a little bit of overview. Again, Lex Friedman, podcast guy, he has his Telegram chat. People got there, and then some of the people from the chat decided to create a separate kind of private group. And some of the people got together there. It was just a very small circle of people, and it wasn't any more dedicated just for Lex podcast. It was just for like fun, spending time together online. And yeah, it like when I was kind of not very active in the chat, but I was seeing that it was getting some traction. I was like, that's weird. How is it gonna work? Because this is like there is no common thing why people are together, but they are still kind of make it, and that's a really interesting experiment, and so far it's working. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you've used the group a few times to promote Narada. You
I
learned a lot
I
about like
I
marketing,
I used
like
it a lot
towing the
of
line.
times.
Like I was the admin or still am, and yeah, you did really towing the line of like what's self promotion and what's not. Like you had to be
Yes.
clever about.
Yeah, so basically, one of the rules of that chat is self-promotion equals ban. And because I was friends with Sarah and the other admin, Um, I got away a couple of times, I think, when I shouldn't have been. But yeah, um, pretty fun experience.
But you're pretty great. Like it's helped you with, I think, networking and stuff, just like improving those skills too. Like talking about Narada, and it kind of helped you break the ice with people because you always shared little voice clips and stuff, singing country songs.
Not only country songs, but yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I
So
like at the start, I think that it's easier to be more open when you spend some time with people, when you get to know them better. Obviously, it was I was afraid to even kind of tell the name of my startup company at the start because I was like, these guys are gonna ban me, kick me, because I'm just trying to promote my content. But then I remember some of the people said that no, it's totally fine, let's do that. And I just felt no resistance, and I was like, let's include my company in every message.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah.
It works though, the repetition, like always naming it and stuff, throwing the name in there whenever.
Yeah, I would have been a very great minister of propaganda in some dictatorship country.
Yeah, you would've.
Everyone would be Narada customer if I was that guy.
Right?
Yeah, I just need a platform to spread it. I'm looking for the like I use the chat. I got away with it. Maybe next time I'll use something else where I can reach more people. Uh, but yeah, in
Yeah.
my in one of my episodes, which I uploaded today, which today might not be today for people who might or might not be listening to us ever. I was talking about kind of marketing and mm, like where is the edge? Because I do feel like marketing is just, especially like just advertisement, because marketing is, from what I learned, is much more than just ads. It's also like price, placement, product, etc. But yeah, advertisement seems an ingenuine thing to do in general, even if the product you're bringing to the people is valuable. But it just sometimes you have to feel the line, and if you cross it, people are gonna get mad at you and they're not gonna appreciate your efforts to make more money, which I think I crossed a couple of times. But the like it was on a small scale, and I was kind of learning where that line would lie. So
Yeah. You did pretty well.
I,
Sometimes it was like too much, you know, but it's all like an experiment, which is fun
yeah,
too.
yeah. Yeah, like in business and startups, experimenting is like everything you do most of the time. You're like trying different things and see what's working and what's not. I was kind of experimenting on you guys, but in a fun way while I was having good time as a yeah, so
I remember that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to
cool.
figure out psychology of people and
Yeah. Yeah, and
but it's valid though.
the psychology of people, because as I do that, as I kind of trying to understand how like psychology again works in sales and marketing and everything, my perspective has changed during the last 9, 10 months when I started to try to tell about my product. At first, like even with friends, I was really afraid to even talk about it because people are gonna say it's a piece of crap or something. I'm gonna feel very bad, and I was just afraid. But interestingly enough, most people are not gonna say that. Most people are gonna lie that it's better than it actually is. And I think the things that you have to look for is like the negative parts. If someone says, "Oh, I think you would better kind of change the slogan," or "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea to put this kind of advertisement here," that is something you have to listen to, because that's where you might hear more value than just, "Oh, it's just perfect, you're doing fine."
Hmm. That's true. Because you looked for negative feedback too
I
from
love
people.
negative feedback. Yeah, for
You were
sure.
like, I want the criticism. I want to hear from people, like, because it helps improve the product.
Yeah, like throw me all your negative uh, thoughts on me, make me feel really bad. Like Michael Scott in one of those episodes when, do you remember when he kind of assembled everyone in the office and he made this kind of show where everyone had to tell something bad about Michael?
Oh yeah, he got so upset.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do every
Oh,
day.
when they were roasting him, yeah.
Yeah.
He's so mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, he was a little bit affected. I'm trying not to be, but this kind of feedback, even if it's a little bit not true, I think there is always a part of truth about like any negative aspect of you or your product or whatever that you have to listen to. And it's just a piece of data. You just have to, oh, people tend to say that, I don't know, your name sounds weird, and you hear it from like 50% of people. Maybe you have to change something. If you hear it from one single person who kind of hates you because they want to hate you, maybe that's not valid. But yeah, negative feedback is awesome. It helps you grow in any aspect of your life. So I'm actively seeking for it always.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the plan when we don't know what to talk about? The Rangers?
Ask you about the Rangers because you have a Ranger team
I
in
have a
20
Rangers.
minutes.
Yeah, I have the
Do
Rangers mug. Can you?
you catch all of them though? All the games?
Um,
Well, only the
no.
ones on.
Like some of the games, because of the time gap, it's an 8 hour time difference between Texas and Ukraine. Well,
Mhm.
let's give a background for people who don't know. So Texas Rangers is a baseball club in American major leagues. I'm a big fan, and their game is gonna start in 20 minutes, and Sarah doesn't want to. It's totally fine if I miss the start. It's so yeah, I do miss a lot of games live because they're like in usually it's either 2 or 3 a.m. Sometimes it's 4 or 5, especially when they're playing on the West Coast, like today. But today is like Sunday, an afternoon game. Um, I just
Yeah.
watch like very short recaps, and that's usually it. But on the weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, most of the time the games are earlier, and it's evening or like early nighttime here, and I usually catch the games. And yeah, but the baseball season itself, it lasts from like April to October. But from November to March, you're just miserable and you're waiting for the season to start. Yeah.
True. You guys have brutal winters like we do.
No. Well, I think
Well, kind of.
I think Ukraine might have like maybe to the northern part, but our climate is, I think that Kiev is probably like New York City in terms of climate. So we do have like snow in the winter, but where I'm based, It's on the sea, so it's usually a little bit warmer. And for the last maybe 5, 6 years, we almost don't have any snow. Um, I suspect because of the climate change, or I don't know why, but the temperatures have been like above 32 Fahrenheit most of the
Wow.
winters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not living
cities do
in.
that too. Like,
Yeah,
cities warm up the climate too, it's weird.
yeah. Well, maybe I'm thinking in terms of centigrade always, so I'll have to switch to Fahrenheit. So I think
I need to
maybe
just learn.
maybe 2, 3 degrees warmer inside of a city. I think that's what I've heard.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because everything is dense. There are a lot of people, maybe some factories or whatnot, like cars, obviously.
Yeah.
Totally, kind of makes it.
Yeah.
I remember maybe when I was like, I think before I was 12 or 13, which was 2014, 2015, we usually got a lot of snow and maybe like 20, 25 degrees, like every December, January, February. We had a lot of snow. We were playing like snow wars or whatever it's called when you throw snowballs at each other. You pretend to be fighting for different countries. That's what we love to do. We like dig trenches in the snow, and it was a lot of fun. Um, but suddenly, not suddenly, but like gradually, it has changed. And now, if you get a snow, it might be there for 1 or 2 days. Then it just a mud or uh, like rain, and the snow is melting very fast. So yeah, I think I have to blame climate change for that, but obviously where you are based, it's not that affected as we are.
Yeah. It's very cold in North Dakota.
Yeah, you suffer every winter, and not only in winter, like everything besides summer probably is like, gosh, I want to move to Florida.
Yeah, seriously. I'm
Y-
thinking about it.
Florida?
Yeah.
Wow. Um,
I'm ready to be like a Florida grandma, just like have nice weather and go read on the balcony.
I'm not sure how nice it is. Like I was checking the data yesterday. Florida is on average throughout the year is hotter than Texas. At
Oh,
least,
wow.
yeah, but they have like maybe different humidity levels or something, and obviously they have like tropical storms and rains, which makes it much different
Mhm.
from like normal season cycles that you and I have. So, because I have a part of the family living there, I've heard some
Yeah.
stories about, and I kind of seen the videos when you have those kind of tropical storms or whatever it's called. um, it's not fun, but it's still kind of warm, and I'm not sure, but I believe that even in winter they are going to the beach, to the ocean, and they swim in the waters. I think that's how warm it
Mhm.
is. Yeah,
It's nice enough to do that, yeah.
yeah. As long as you have
Mm.
an AC and you don't spend more than 2 minutes outside, it's totally
Right.
fine.
AC
And,
is never.
and they have funny animals like lizards, like alligators, right? Um,
You were just telling me how you want to eat rattlesnakes.
like
Well,
the
when you
reason.
get to Texas,
Yeah, I think that
it's
I tried to make a little bit of research. I think it's a thing. Like people are eating that, and I was like, screw
Mhm.
it, let's do it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to trying a rattlesnake when I'm in Texas. Um,
I'll try
um,
it with you when I come
yeah,
visit.
yeah, sure. That would be really great. Because when I'm thinking about it, the kind of the food that people enjoy there is how to tell it is a little bit unhealthy in general. Um, and as a person with a little bit of the problems with stomach and whatnot, um, I will have to be a little bit more conservative in what I do in terms of
Yeah,
eating food.
you have to be
But
really careful.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Or I'm gonna screw all my trip there.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I
you're really excited to go to Texas eventually.
uh yes, obviously I am really excited. I have like very specific plans of how I'm gonna spend my first and even the second trip there. Um, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope I'm not gonna die from the extreme heat. But as a person who likes challenges and like facing reality as it is, I will try to get there at the hottest part of the season, maybe in August or so, just to
Mhm.
feel the pain and and see how much can I
Yeah,
last. Yeah.
you can turn right, turn around and go back home right away.
No, no. As I
Oh, you love
was
Texas though.
I will melt down, but I will not leave. I will suffer there. I'm ready.
I know you love it.
But I mean, I
Ready?
think sorry, didn't hear your last thing.
I said you're ready for Texas.
I'm ready for Texas. Yeah. Um, I also have like a skin which is I can really easily burn my skin when it's like summer and I'm outside. So that's gonna be another challenge. I'll have to like wear like short that covers all my arm and whatnot. And it's gonna be even hotter. I'm gonna be very sweaty, but I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna enjoy my time there.
Yes, I know you are.
Yeah.
You know so much about it.
Uh,
Does your Have you talked about your love of Texas on your podcast yet?
I haven't. I think that's the first time we're bringing it up. Um, I think it's worth exploring it in like a very like separate episode because it's like a very long
Mhm.
story and a very interesting one. But yeah, one thing though that I want to do beside getting killed under the sun there is to visit it during like Christmas and see um, how does the famous Texas Christmas looks like, where you don't have snow, everyone is it's like 60 degrees or something sometimes, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, Santa has to wear like a t-shirt and like shorts to get there because because it's
Good.
so hot. But I
People
think,
decorate their cactuses and stuff, or cacti.
yeah,
That's good.
I can imagine it's a better than a Christmas tree, right? Like you have this
Yeah.
giant cactus, which is like one hand is up, one hand is down, and
Mhm.
you you kind of have this star and like decorations and like presents underneath, and it has like spikes, and you have to be very careful. It's like real Texas
It's like a
Christmas.
mean Christmas tree.
I mean,
It's funny.
I mean, Texas is historically a very tough place to be, right? Maybe that cactus has a gun, and you wouldn't want to
Right?
mess with it. I
Right?
think I think you have to decorate it with a cowboy hat. I think that would be the best
Yeah.
kind of
Great.
Christmas. I don't think though that they have a lot of like giant cacti like in Arizona in Texas. I think like there are some of those, at least from what I
Mm.
understand. But like it's more common to have like smaller versions of cactuses, which are like similar to regular like plants and whatnot. But they're still cool. Yeah, definitely
Those
want to
ones
visit.
that like jump out at you. Have you seen those kind? Those cacti.
Like which physically changes its form,
Hmm.
or I
They like
think,
detach. They have little like leaves or something, but they're
yeah,
spiky, and then they like will like jump out at you and attack you.
Texas is a scary place to be.
I don't know if that's true. I think so.
Oh, I can imagine it's true. Like,
Have to
yeah,
look it up.
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna do my homework on that for sure. I love like exploring like nature of Texas, including like plants and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I really want to look into that. They have a lot of like videos where they kind of show you the preserved nature of Texas. I've seen a bunch of those videos, and I'm sure I'm gonna find something about those nasty cacti which are trying to kill you. They're trying to show you who is
Trying to
the
bite
real
you.
who's the real sheriff in their town.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about North Dakota? Do you have like very specific kinds of plants or maybe animals to your region which are not very
Mhm.
common to other regions?
We have a lot of mosquitoes.
Well, I have
That's the state
mosquitoes too.
bird.
A state bird? Like,
It's our state bird.
hmm. um, I
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but wouldn't mosquitoes like die in your like freezing temperatures, or they're like so like um what do you say?
Thankfully, they do. They go
'Cause-
away in the wintertime.
Yeah, because here, like in Ukraine, usually we do have mosquitoes mostly in summer and mostly like in night, at night, where it's dark and they're kind of wake up and you're all covered in like red marks that they leave, and it's a little bit uncomfortable when they bite you. But
Yeah,
um,
I do see a lot of like wildlife around. I'm always like sharing pictures with you of the different wildlife I see.
yeah,
At
and
least
it's
in my group.
it's kind of cool
Like lots
because
of deer.
did you ever go hunt some of that, or
Never been hunting before, which is weird for North Dakota,
yeah, but it's a
but I just
hard
can't.
it's like hard to kill animals, especially like the larger
Mhm.
ones that seem to be more like resemble humans,
Mhm.
and like you're looking the scope at this deer or something,
I know.
and you're like he's one like you're a press of a finger away from death or like insane suffering, and you're like, no, no, I can't do it.
I just can't do it. Like a lot of everybody hunts around here, of course. I just never got into it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Well,
right. It's just being that animal. It's like hard.
yeah. And those
But I
memories
do
may
enjoy meat. I do enjoy meat, so
I
I
mean
have to accept it.
I mean it's much easier to enjoy something when you don't like think how it was cooked,
Mm-hmm.
or
Exactly.
even the rattlesnake. Um, it was cute, right? And
Oh,
we just ate it.
I know.
It was trying to live its own life. It had its own family, kids. It had its own dreams in the grass.
Yeah, right?
And I mean, killing like predator animals that are hunting for other animals, I think it's kind of easier because like they're the bad guys too, so like everyone is an outlaw. But when you kill like a deer or something that doesn't hunt, you're like you're killing the easy prey, but that's just how nature works. I've never
I
been
know.
hunting. I've never killed an animal which was like larger than a cockroach, I think. Maybe a fly. Maybe a giant cockroach.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I like if I was in North Dakota with you and we went hunting, I would still shoot that deer because uh like I want to overcome my fear even if I know it's not right. I understand that it is something that I have to do to grow even if it sucks and
Yeah.
I know it's a hard moral
And
question.
they're like overpopulated. If you don't like kill a certain amount of them, then they start turning into deer zombies and stuff.
Yeah, so we're just looking for excuses now.
True. You've heard of deer zombies, right? Like chronic wasting disease,
I didn't know about that.
the prion disease, like mad cow disease, like
Like,
somehow makes you go crazy in your mind. And so there'll be deer like out and they won't run away from you. They'll just kind of stare at you and like come up to you because they're just out of their mind. And a lot of times they'll be like really skinny and
wow.
just look like scary zombie deer. Isn't that scary? I've never
Um,
seen one. It's not like as common here as
I think it's a
you'd
good
think.
idea to bring a shotgun. Because no, that sounds really
Scary.
scary. Like the zombie thing.
Zombie deer. Another thing to be afraid of in Texas.
Yeah.
I heard about it on Rogan. That's how, of course, I learned about it from Rogan. I was gonna say Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he like I haven't followed up him much like at all. I listened to some of the episodes like maybe 3 years ago or so. I haven't been a big fan of his podcast, but is he like I think that he does go hunting
Hmm.
for like
Yeah,
deers and stuff. I think he kind of does that, right?
yeah, he's big into like hunting. He'll go to like Wyoming and or places like that and hunt. I don't know if he hunts like big animals like bears and stuff.
Yeah,
He has to, I'm sure, because he goes
bear,
on those kind of trips where they like help you. You have like a guide and everything, you know?
yeah, but bears are very dangerous. I've never like seen like obviously I've seen bears in like zoos and whatnot, but to see a wild bear in a forest, it's like a giant thing that is like 1.5 times higher than you, and it has like giant claws and even like even like a gun, a big gun is does not necessarily protect you. I believe from that because like
Yeah.
it can still attack you even if you shoot it. So it's kind of scary, but if you have like a guide or whatever person who knows how to deal with that,
I
um,
have some family members and stuff who go bear hunting. My school counselor, like in high school, had like a bear hung on his wall that he had shot. And he's like the school counselor.
you guys are crazy.
It was like on his wall, this bear, like when he went into his office to talk about issues or whatever in school.
Wow.
And
In
he
school, so
killed it.
you have like a dead bear in school
Mhm.
to put to show the students what would happen to them if they do not behave.
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have. Yeah, I guess that's unusual for like you. We have a lot of land, and forest and stuff. So there's a lot of bear hunting and lots of opportunity for that if you want.
Yeah,
Like you can
that's
go and travel and bear hunt. I don't know
that
if it's right or like if I like it or not, but that's what people do.
that's crazy. Because, like in my
Yeah.
view, in my how I see like America in general, this is what I imagine America to be like 150 years ago. And it still hasn't changed. Like people still go hunting. It's still like a large, uninhabited area. And it's kind of amazing. You wouldn't find that in Europe, I believe. Everything is like preserved. Everyone is lived. But I guess you have like a lot of space
Everything's
there.
kind of claimed or it's already
Yeah.
claimed, but everything has something on it. We have so much empty land too, like mountains, like a lot of wildlife. And
Is that like federal preserved like land
Mhm.
or?
Yeah, we have like our national parks, so they should be protected usually.
Mhm.
At least that keeps them safe, like from developments and stuff.
But I
So
think
that's
that
good.
hunting might or might not allow to be there because when I was
Yeah.
learning about Texas, some of the national parks do allow hunting, and that's kind of interesting
Mm.
because people were like, "It's my freedom. Don't make me live in a communist country," and and yeah, people like the feds they try to like preserve the part of a of the forest or something, and they have a forest in Texas, in east part of it, and people were so against it that they uh, kind of made it into the law that they still can hunt, even though it's like a nationally federally preserved place, and that was kind of fun to learn.
Wow. I wonder what that is. That doesn't surprise me though, that people fought against it in
For
Texas.
sure, for sure. Yeah.
I can't
Um,
wait for you to come to America though.
Yeah, I can't wait too. I'll have a pickup truck. I'll have a couple of guns. I'm not sure about hunting, which might be fun a couple of times, but um, just going into some like West Texas place where you don't have anybody and um, just shoot stuff, have fun. I know that that sounds like heaven to me.
You would love it. Like in Arizona, my dad goes there and like when I've gone there to visit, then they shoot like tannerite, the
Yeah,
explosive material
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Like
yeah.
you go out in the desert and put tannerite, out there and shoot it. It sounds like a bomb going off and that's pretty crazy. I've shot a
Yeah.
lot of guns though too. That's something in America too, or like North Dakota, it's pretty normal for like everybody to have shot guns. It's funny to talk to somebody like who hasn't really, because just growing up, it was normal for us.
How many guns
Crazy.
do you have if you can share?
I don't have any myself.
How, wait, are you like an outlier? How is that
Actually,
normal?
most people don't. If most like a lot of families have guns though, a lot like especially in the country, everybody has like a shotgun at least. Like if you live on a farm or something,
Sure.
like everybody has to have a gun like handy just because.
Yeah,
But
but you
like
don't have.
I don't have one. It's not as common for people. Maybe it is though, for people to have one and just like hide it. Like
Yeah,
my dad has one. It's like one of those judges or whatever. I don't know what those. It's an old like Western kind of gun,
mm-hmm.
but he had
Yeah,
that like at his house. And I don't know if it, but like it's pretty common for people if they're like older or have a family to at least have a gun in the house. It's like ridiculously common.
yeah.
Think hopefully like a lot of people have gun safes,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those, so that's good.
Yeah. I think that the day I have a permission to own a gun, I maybe not the day of, but like I would really want to own a at least a pistol or a revolver just for the sake of it. I don't know why. I just like guns. I'm not sure about
Mhm.
ARs or stuff like that, which seems a little bit more than actually needed, unless you protect
Yeah.
your border from
Yeah.
enemies, which
Or
I
your
hope.
compound, like in
Yeah,
Waco, we talked about.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I like this.
I'll definitely want to have one. Um, okay. So
Yeah.
do you think we'll have to kind of start wrapping things up, or
Yeah,
because
I'm fine with that.
I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying it. But to be honest, I was so tired before we started it. It was not a crazy day, but a crazy week, and I'm still trying to
Mm.
trying to get a little bit of rest. But this is awesome. So
It's
I'm
really fun. And you're gonna come on my podcast when I finally start it.
well,
And it's just really fun.
I I wanted to do that, but I had to start my own one and invite you to do that
I
because you.
know. No, I wouldn't do it. I wasn't starting it. Thank
Yeah,
you for having me on here though. It's like really fun. And we
yeah,
have so
it's
much more to talk about.
we
So
can do that
I
regularly, right?
have fun. Yeah, like every few episodes I could come on and be like
Yeah, that sounds
it's
awesome.
fun.
All right,
Yeah, it's really fun.
all right. Let me stop the recording.